Oh, of course. That's going to be painful. Sorry, I forgot the mic. The mic is very far away. Alright. Okay. Music is good. Theme is good. Microphone is good here. And we are good to start. Alright. Oh, what to talk about today? What is topic of the day? What should we talk about? Well, first of all, let's see a summary. Of course, I want to talk. Maybe. See, I'm going to do this kind of thing. I'm going to write up every topic I want to talk about, so you can hear my keyboard sounds. Bit. Let's talk about dancing. Bit. Let's talk about working. That's two good starting topics. One is kind of interesting. I can tell about my experiences, and then I can talk about other structures, other thoughts of the day. You know what? I'm going to say something else that I actually really enjoyed not so long ago, but didn't have time to talk about. Also, tomorrow maybe I have enough time so I can play with Jedi Outcast. Hopefully. Gosh. I'm thinking about, you know what, I'm just going to write these topics up before I forget them. So something else I wanted to talk about is a game called Lords and Villains, and I got a new update, and Sprocket got a new update too. Nice. So let's see, Lords and Villains. Not villain, it's villains, like those who used to live in villains. Alright. And the last thing that I kind of forgot about already. Let's see if you can hear me like this. Well, it's a little bit sad. Shouldn't be too far away. Alright. So the last thing, okay, back go away. Some microfly. So the last thing I want to talk about is just what I was thinking about, how to make time. Let's just write it down. I don't actually type this slow. I just want to type softly so you wouldn't hear the super keyboard crashing that I usually do. You know how gamers and office workers are. They are typing with the speed of light. That's how we are. You know, it's nice. It's honestly kind of nice. So let's talk about the next nearest event that I had. Let's start with kind of a delight. I have been dancing again. Now, if you're a bit of a maybe basic gamer, or maybe kind of a at home type of person, I'm going to write something on Skype. I just discovered something great and I'm very happy about it. And you can't hear the keyboard, and I really like this. I just tried to set it up so you can't hear it, even though the microphone is right above the keyboard. I'm kind of proud of myself, but if I do it harshly, then you can hear it. So, every week I go to some dances, and sometimes maybe multiple times, depending, because sometimes there are extra events, kind of, you know. Toothbrush. It's on my table charging. So sometimes there are extra events and I go to them too. That happened last time. It didn't really end well, not as well as I expected it to end. So I have told you last time when I was dancing on this event that I couldn't really follow those kind of movements the others were doing, and the reason for this is that I was a newbie. I mean, that was the greatest problem. See, if I could just dance with others, I would have had a topic to talk to them, because if you have asked a girl out to dance, after that, think about it, you have a common shared topic. Now you can meet their friends too. Wow, hey Erika, I just danced with, no, you are like walking down after dancing and, hey Erika, this was amazing, you are dancing really well. And you be like, hey mate, yes, this is my friend, I just danced with him. And you can mingle, kind of. So it might not solve every problem, but gives you an opportunity to have a medium to talk with other people. And I'm sorry, and the greatest problem was that I had no such thing. I had no groups. I had no common medium to talk to people. I couldn't dance. Everything was downhill for me. But if I could have danced well, I would have had like the chance to talk and interact with people, which is a really good thing. Now, when was I working? So I was working last night. That was not really hard to forget, but you know, thinking. So last day, sorry, I'm still a bit tired. I have been sleeping so much. Last night I had a 12-hour shift, a morning one, and later at night I have been dancing, and I have gotten home at 5:30. You know, 5:30 or 6 to 6. They are normal times. If they wouldn't be paying my lunch time, then I wouldn't even be at the company. It should be obvious. That's just too much. And if it would be too far away, then I would also not be working at a company, because let's face it, that would be like 14 or 16 hours a day, and I'm in the opportunity that I don't have to kind of take those kind of jobs. And honestly, I would just die from it. So I'm not that kind of person who can take that kind of strain. I would be part of the natural selection of that in that age. I couldn't do it. I still can do it. Alright, I had some 12 hours, and even this kind of double 12 hours is kind of killing me. But back to dancing. After the 12-hour shift, I was very tired, super tired. Still went dancing because I really wanted to. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I was not at the top form of my own, which means I actually kind of not stepped onto, I hope, God bless, I hope I didn't step on anyone's foot. Girls are in sandals or these really thin things. If you step on a guy's leg, it's not the end of the world because their boots is usually thick. But on a sandal with a guy's weight, that's not going to look good. I don't want to step on anyone's leg. So I kind of hit a couple girls here or there because I just wasn't fast enough at that point. Normally my perception and guard of my surrounding area is very high on guard, very fastly reacting. Now at this point, after 12 hours, I'm just too tired. I'm just too tired to move with such a precision, and so my movement can be blocky. I can have a lag. So I have managed to, I think, not really hit in the punch sense other people, you know, kind of just the kind of shredded or maybe blicked kind of thing. A couple of the girls, and I have to say it, kind of a couple of them were near the chest area. Now certain dance moves, a lot of dance moves actually have wow, just they have a lot of I would say risky kind of places, not just for her, because um, you know, it's a girl's chest, you know, sometimes it hits things. Okay, girls are careful with it, but it's going to hit the shelf, it's going to hit whatever. It happens. For them it is normal. For me it is not normal that I punch a girl in the chest. As surprising this might be to some people, it's really not common, you know. um, and you know, and I don't want to say this, really, I do, but it's going to sound bad. Slapping a girl in the chest, in the pupicles, on a dance night is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I haven't done such a thing, don't worry. That would have been super awkward. Super awkward. God bless, it didn't happen. But it can happen. The thing is, it can happen. And you know, it's scary because, not because of anything like, wow, she's going to sue me, or make a sense scene. I'm not afraid of that. I am afraid of that, but it's rather uncommon. For me at least. I live in a country like that. The flowers over here are kind of hardened. And not always psychotic. But depends. Depends what kind of girl you get, and then it can get a little bit weird. But the thing is, there are dance moves where you are supposed to, like, you're holding a girl. In dances, you're holding a girl, and you are not supposed to. I just realized you are not supposed to go too close to the upper shoulder or the middle of the back, somewhere in between, because the middle of the back can be kind of low, kind of low. The shoulders kind of too high, and if the girl starts to sweat, then you are going to put your arm there, and it's going to make her really uncomfortable. So obviously you don't really want that. But if you're an amateur or dancing, or you didn't know that, it might happen. It does happen a lot. But if you move it a little bit lower, of course, which, you know, I think it's the norm. I don't have anatomy in my hand. I think that's the norm, but I'm unsure. So you put your hand there, and she's turning, and it's not always that she's turning in a way that your hand flicks away. Sometimes there are dance moves, a lot of them actually, where you have to, like, flick your hands away to the side or up, or put it onto her shoulder, or the side of her neck, because at shoulder, for example, you stop when you spin her. So you're supposed to do this kind of dodging things, and so are the girls. The girls can punch you in the stomach and everything, kind of kick you in the nuts. You know, everything can happen, and it's kind of the end of the dance. So there are things you are trying to do. Now there are those things to be considered here. There are those things that I want to have someone else consider. On dot. That sentence was not good. There are two things to be taken into consideration. One is that, for one, of course, I mentioned I was really tired. But the second, we were trying out to dance very, very fast today. And it was really good, by the way. I really did like it, because this was the kind of dance that at the other party where I failed, they were doing. They were much faster, and this was the rate, this was the speed at which I wanted to dance. So it's really good because you can learn. But the second, but there was a problem with it. The problem with it was that I was both very tired and kind of sluggish. I was doing the dance really well, and it felt like my second battery just started going, and I was really energetic after a while. But at the start, well, this was towards the end, so I was really doing well, but when we just stepped onto a higher level, it was kind of a sudden shock. I needed a bit of time to adjust. And the thing is, here we are not just talking about, like, oh wow, you touched the chest, oh no, naughty boy. No, you can hit the girl with a shoulder too. a shoulder to the chest, every kind of thing that hurts actually, and a lot worse, right? If you just accidentally slap the side of the titty, well, it's not nice. Sure, she's not going to, maybe, depends on the girl, whatever feelings she's gonna have after that. But if just shoulder her into the chest, that's not, as far as I know, it's not going to be comfortable. So I have done none of those, God bless, but it was not, the fingertips. So it was not the fingertips, but lower arm part that kind of shredded. Now I don't think it's that equally bad, but it can be. But the thing is, it's going to not jiggle, but kind of give physics to the chest, which can be uncomfortable, and of course, yeah, like, so it's not really good. And the second thing that we kind of not bounced together, but kind of hit together a couple times at the start, but that wasn't the perfect start, but it was awesome. No, I tried to tell you this story. Let's go to the next story. What happened at the dance, the second part. The second part is we have so I have been thinking about some of the dance moves that they have been doing on the dances, and I realized I know a lot of moves that I could have actually done on the dance. No, I just wasn't enough. Everything of mine was lacking to join that dance, but there have been a couple dance moves that I could have done on the dance, and that would have been nice, but it wasn't enough. But today we are also learned a lot of new ones. We looked them over, and it's really hard to lead. It's very hard to lead. Sometimes it comes very naturally, and the things we have, because I see a lot of dance moves, and honestly it's not natural to my body rhythm. Today we have taken one that I really like because it's double turn. One side turn, once she turns, we do a together turning. So there's a lot of good stuff in it, and there are a lot of other things too. Now in the end of this move, you kind of stop, and then you have to step back. For me, my rhythm is to kind of bit of lean forward and put your hand out and take a small step back with one of my leg. But if I already take a step back at like 1 2 3 1 2 3, and you do the dance 1 2 3 5 7 8, and you kind of do the dance, and at 8 I'm already putting my leg back, but you're going to have to put at the next one, because there's a 1 2 3, there is a whatever else, lots of numbers, but not numbers like just rhythm. Like, this is where you put your leg and whatever, and that one, it's reach distance, and so it's but at the last move I am already putting my leg back, because for me it's comfortable. It just comes with a rhythm. It just looks nice that you do a little bend forward, and you have your hand, and it's kind of like a nice gesture, and it looks really good. And for some it comes very natural, because you have just pulled the girl right and left, and made a spin, and then as she comes back you do a little bit of I don't know what this bent a little forward, kind of like tipping your head kind of gesture, and she does too when you do it, and it just comes very natural that both of you do this, and I have no idea what it is, but it's really nice, and yeah, it just comes. But there is an 8, no, there is a 1, so it restarts, and that's when you start to do the normal things. You step with one leg back, and when you step with one leg back, sometimes you there are just normal dancing when you are just tip-topping at one place before you do a dance move. This can be to the side, front, back, whatever else. In this case, you are stepping side and you are stepping front. And I already stepped to the back, so where my leg is at the back, so you know. Aside that, it was really fast, and it went really rhythmic, really oiled, really just well moving and smooth. You know, the moment you kind of push away each other and then pull in each other, you can hold each other, or you can kind of as you're holding each other, make a turn and throw each other away by still holding them. Pull her back, make a spin, or you make a spin. That's the thing too. There are others when you are making a small turn, and then like how is it? First you pull the girl in, you make her do a spin, then you spin, and then you take a step back. Then you go front, you make a step back, then you go front, you catch her. I have no idea. And how to explain this. And the point is, it's hard if you are not drawing it. Because you're going front to make her spin, and in this case you can let the girl go and go to the next girl. In this case you don't do that. Instead, as you're going forward, you catch her, you make a turn, and then you make a turn, and then you pull her into your arms, and then you make a not spin. The previous two were spins. I'm sorry, not just turns, spins. This one is just turning against each other again. So yeah, it sounds complicated. It's really easy, by the way. Just it's very weird explaining it. Like when you are have a girl that like steps back and you pull her back, and the moment you raise your hand, it's really easy to spin her. But to describe this, not necessarily, because you know you just raise your arm, and if you move it a little bit forward, it's going to make her arm kind of catch. You know, her arm can't really go anywhere, so she would start to spin naturally. She's going to step against it, and it's not even uncomfortable because you're not flexing her shoulder, but she's following the top of her hands movement, kind of like a signal, and she's going to follow that because you just raised that arm, so she's going to follow that. And as you are move it back, she's going to follow that one, not because you know she's uncomfortable or you're breaking her arm or anything else, but I don't know, because she's concentrating on that or something. I don't know. And then you know she made the spin, you let the arm down, then you push away. Well, you don't necessarily have to push each other away, because at the end of the spin she can just make a step back, and then you know you pull each other again close to each other, and this time you are spinning basically, not she, you. So how is that? I have no idea. That part I don't remember. I don't know how to explain. When you are doing it, it just goes very naturally because it's part of your body memory, not kind of like the visual memory. I have no idea. My hand is up, I make a turn, then I think I spin her too, and then you know after she spins, I pull her into my arm, kind of catch her, make a step forward. So you know, I don't know why I make a step forward, it's just part of it. Then take a step back, and we walk around each other, kind of. So we are back to the starting position. So you know, they are these kind of things, and we have been doing this very fast. And there is the tempo when you are starting to learn. There is a tempo when you are starting to learn, but you do it normally. Then you do it slowly to a dance, and then you do it on max speed. And now max speed is the best thing ever. And I didn't expect it to go so well, but you don't have to think about where you step, and the music kind of melts with you, and you don't have to think about like the step, 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 step. There is no rhythm anymore. You are walking with the rhythm, and you are walking very fast with the rhythm, and it just everything just happens smoothly, and everything just works oiled like very smoothly, very nicely. And I was surprised at how well can you do it. And if you can do it, you know, you just let the girl's arm go, and you step back, or you just spin her and step back into the step, and look at others legs, and yes, now we are 1 2 3, and you know, you don't have to catch the rhythm again. You know the rhythm. You just have to catch at the if the other guys are stepping forward or stepping backwards. So you wouldn't be like one step behind them, but exactly where they are. So it's everyone synchronized. So you know, and it was going so well. She's so well. I really liked it. Very nice. Yeah. By the way, let's end this topic. It was really good. I very much enjoyed it, and I'm very happy to have been there. And that towards night, it felt like a second battery was going. Uh, Before the first night shift that I have in the day one, where the morning one, the morning afternoon one, I have been not able to sleep because I had to transition from night shift to morning shift, and so I was very sicklish, and even now I'm very sicklish. It's 12 hour. It's yeah. So after that, I was barely able to be awake, and I kind of was not right in between the two shifts. I just slept. Went into the next shift. Kind of feels sad because of all day passed and I have done nothing. And another 12-hour passing, and you are awake for a couple hours and go to sleep again. I feel like 2 days just passed and I lost that time from my life, and so on, so forth. The point being is, I felt like a second battery has gone on, and after that I came home. I was up a little bit more, and then today I'm waking up like I'm horrible. Uh, I have, I have, I have slept till noon. That's the very minimum, and I slept a lot, and I'm very tired, and my legs hurt, my everything hurts. My fingers are making scratchy noises. So yeah. Anyways, um, so yeah. Next topic is, um, I want to mention something in between the topics. I didn't have much time to watch YouTubers, so I watched a couple ones, and I actually seen a very nice one on Takahata's show. I loved it so much. I love the new girl so much, and I don't know. It's just the way she talks and everything is just so nice. I'm very much in favor of her. So, and then, you know, just before the stream, I was like, well, I have a couple minutes before, you know, the stream. So I got a YouTube recommendation to something I didn't expect. It was called Lily's ASMR, and I'm like, Lily is making ASMR. She's an orca VTuber, very good. Check her out. She's awesome. And yeah, and it was heartbeats, and okay, the kissing sounds were kind of embarrassing, I have to say. It made me blush just a little bit, I did not expect those from Lily, to be honest. Somehow, I don't know. I have I had this bratty friend feeling to Lily. I know a lot of guys have different feelings because she has big badonkas and like she can be kind of rude, but I always kind of related to her like a very bratty kind of girlish friend. You know, the kind of friend that's I'm going to talking something to the connector. And well, sounding her kisses was, you know, I just didn't expect that. I thought it would be like some scratching sounds or something. The heartbeat was excellent. It was super relaxing. I felt really warm inside. That that was just awesome. I have to say, I was very happy to have watched that just before the stream. It mood put me into an incredibly good mood. I would say it's very, I don't know, top quality. Like one expects mm, yeah, I kind of had a brain freeze moment here. Yeah. So it put me into a really good mood, in short. And it was rather enjoyable. Very enjoyable. I'm sorry if sometimes I use not the best expressions and I say rather. I don't know what exactly they mean. But yeah, it was top quality. I haven't expected her to make such a good ASMR at first try. Maybe she practiced before. Probably she did practice a lot. When you see that, for example, a VTuber does such a great work on stream, as with usual streamers, it's a lot of preparation and a lot of hard work. So it's not just a simple, it was kind of good, she kind of nailed it on the head. She probably had a lot of practice before it, and I have to say it's honestly really worth it. It's she did an excellent job. So I don't want to like troll over too much on these topics. I don't want to sound like that. I just, with my words, I'm trying to find the meaningful expression. I feel like sometimes the words I'm saying don't really paint my thoughts very well, because I want to say it was excellent. It was very great, but it's not just that it was great. It was touching. You know, it was it just hit the nail on the head right at the best point, where it's just, you know, it felt really good. It was very high quality production, and yeah, it's just hard to express myself sometimes. So the next, wow, I'm already at 30 minutes, and oh, we are just starting the second topic. My guy friends are right. Not my guy friends, friends in general. I just have a channel that's full of guy friends. I know others have that too, a bit. So my guy friends were right. I do talk a lot. I'm sorry. I just hope that for someone this might be entertaining. For me, it's honestly very therapeutic. Therapeutic. This is like the word bureaucracy. I have tried to write that down many times, but with English it's not so easy, because when you try to write them bureaucratic, sometimes I would be like B-E-E-U, but you have to remember that it's from the bureau word. This means that it's not meant to be written perfectly as it is pronounced, but it's from an older word like bureau. It's going to be, how is it, bureau, B-E-U-R-O, crassi, because the crassi is a jointment. it's going to be bureau, and for that crassy. I'm going to write this is bureau or bureaucracy, and there is a no, it's a bureau. I just said it. So yeah, it's bure o and crassy. So it's kind of not like it's if I would were to say bureaucracy or something like that, a lot of times I would be expecting the A or AU. AU, how is it in English? A and AU words, syllables, not words, syllables. Syllable. I'm using not a syllable, is it? Which one are you? Syllable? No, that's not a syllable. Letter, yes, not syllables. No. Having one vowel sound. No, that's not. I meant a letter. So I would expect a letter with one of those. Well, they are just one sound. Technically, they are always just one sound, like O, A, U, O. Just open and it's not that kind of. They are not made out of multiple things. They are just written like that in English. For most of the other countries, this E and A is its own word, and for the E and A, that one has a different, like letter keyboard. And this is like when you read in one of the Scandinavian nations, there is like a Bjorn, but there is a an O with two dots on it. That kind of means that a lot of these is it a vowel, if I remember well? A lot of the vowels that you write in English actually mimics how you move your mouth, like ooh, kind of you make a liquid, but with O you make kind of a circle. With U you kind of pull it lower. And so when you are doing that kind of, and it's similar, they are just putting dots or is it kappa? It is called semicolon, comma. It's called a comma. You put a comma on top, kind of yeah. But with, for example, bureaucracy, depending on how and who says it, was
bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy.
Yeah, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy.
Okay, that's a very big. Crassy.
Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy.
Crassy. Okay, I'm not really good with that one word, but okay, I'm not going to say anything about it. Maybe it was from an example, but with a couple of things I'm kind of expecting a different letter. I don't know where this one came from. I have no idea what was the original, and neither do I care. And I'm just going to gosh, many sadness. But anyway, sorry, I'm doing other things here. Not sure where the English topic came from, but sometimes I'm expecting different words when you are writing it down. Different letters when you are writing it down. Bureau. Alright, I forget it. I'm just bureau. So bureau. Yeah, bureau. Crassy, right? Yeah, bureaucracy. So it can be a kind of I expect an A and U closer, but maybe that's just my mispronunciation. At some places, not view, bureaucracy. No, anyway, let's not over talk this. It's probably my mistake. Okay, I don't try to keep over explaining because it's not my mistake. It's probably my mistake. It's just nice to say that out. So the second topic is working. I am already at 40 minutes. Okay, I'm not going to say fish. But anyway, the next one is working. Oh gosh. So with working, how is working and what is working and why we do it and so many things to just talk about it. So my country have I don't know if I should talk about this, maybe not. So when you work and when you make a salary, there are different things people have to take into account. Just a lot of things, a lot of effects, a lot of things, how much work, how much no, not just a compensation. See, it's kind of hard to talk about this. For example, when you want someone to do something heavier than usual, why would he go there if you can just have a normal job, right? So heavy labor, general physical labor is more expensive. Heavy labor is even more expensive. Of course, it can be destructive, or you need certain protective juices for it, as they say. This can be just simple fruit juices or a better diet, because you can wear down really fast. A lot of people don't know because they don't work in it. Heavy labor is not something you can just do, and people don't understand. But why? The difference between physical labor and heavy labor is that you can do physical labor on a normal diet, on a normal life. You just need a job and you go and do it. Heavy physical labor might expect you to be running all day, and I'm not kidding, in be very high motion. Sure, but you also might need to do, beside this one, pack heavy things. And as they say, you are working with I'm not perfect, I don't know everything in English. You have to work with a momentum, you know, that's kind of things. And you can combine this with other things. You are working with a momentum, not a heavy physical labor. You are working with a momentum, so it's much more stressing. Your legs are going to give up, your knees are going to give up, and these are very serious things, because after a while you just won't be able to do the work. It's not like work hard, be inspired, inspirational videos, you can just do it. No, your legs are going to give up, you are going to have constant cramps, and generally it's just going to hurt so much. You are not going to be able to perform your 30% or your 10%, and after that there's just no point in employing you. So this is the same like saying, hey, I have a shovel, I'm going to be an excavator. You are not going to be. It's a different kind of thing. So when you are working with a momentum, I'm going to say that there are a lot of different kind of people. Like, I work with a momentum, but I'm not 100% created for this kind of thing. Also, at my current workplaces, there are a lot of blocks, conveyor systems going around, and I have to kind of climb under it really fast. So I can't take 2 minutes to get under it. I have like 1 or 2 seconds. So I kind of slide in, you know, very low, and then just put myself onto the other leg and do this kind of like you see martial arts, this low kind of under, and then run to the other side of the machine. Now that doing this for 10 minutes can be stressing, doing this for 12 hours can be different. But if you start piling up these kind of things, one, you have to understand that something becomes an impossibility or contradictory, and this is why they do the kind of things where they, okay, we employ 2 guys, and it's just much more efficient. because in some stages in growth industry, or you know, when the industry is really going fast and you want more and more production, oftentimes it's just, you know, you want to produce more. The thing is not, the problem is not the cost. You can have $1 profit on that product, it doesn't matter you are making 10 million of it, or like you make a million of it every day or more. If it's a smaller product, even more. So the point is for production to go on, and it doesn't matter if you have to hire 2 more people. But what I wanted to say, with heavy physical labor, it's a kind of thing that for one you need time to grow, and that can be very stressing, very consuming. And with heavy physical labor, we have what, just like this in the summer, we have called what is called protective drinks. So for example, in the summer, in the winters you can do a lot of kind of workings, because for example you want to repair rails. Rails, for example trams, get a lot of load, and so often need well, most of the time need a concrete base. But a concrete base, well, it oftentimes have to be poured on site, because you know, sometimes I saw them being placed down too. It happens, but oftentimes they have to be poured and have to dry. Now there are cuts you can make, so you don't pour them, you place them in prefabricated pieces and just kind of glue them together with you know, either concrete, plasters, and every kind of, not plaster, no, plaster is the wrong word, that's entirely very different thing. Not so the joints where metal pieces join and bound the concrete together, okay, you put more concrete on it, end of story. If it's the winters, however, the middle of the concrete is going to have a very hard time drying, so there comes the problem, what you are going to do with it. You know, people have to go on the tram line. There is a reason why the tram line is over there. So instead of doing that and waiting for 2 months before the concrete finally sets, so it wouldn't crack, it wouldn't have problems, it wouldn't be weak, and it would sustainable, you know, vibrations from and the load from the tram is going to, where is OBS? I just don't want you to hear that. Okay, so the point is, sometimes instead of doing this, you start a rail construction at the summer. I don't know if I said that or I'm just rambling. But in the summers, you have the heat problem. Working in the summers are already hard. Working physical, yes, but working heavy physical, because those rails and such, and concrete pieces are usually carried by people or assisted by people. Now, a lot of metal, what is it called? Rebars, I think. A lot of rebars and such are carried by people. Rails are carried by people, because you want to do it fastly, and cranes are not fast. I'm sorry, a lot of people like cranes are really fast. Cranes are horribly slow. Alright, people are 10 times faster, minimum, or more. And so you put everything down, pour the concrete, and it's just ready. The whole thing is ready in a week at best. But you have 40 Celsius. So what do? You can't just erect a tent anymore, or have everyone stand in the shadow all the time. So this is why we have protective drinks that allow you to sweat a lot, and because when you are starting to sweat a lot, you are losing a lot of I don't know the name, a lot of things, nutritions you need, a lot of salts, a lot of vitamins, so on and so forth. So sweating is not really good for you in such high amounts. So they have what they call protective drinks. Now, why do we even have protective drinks? Why don't just use the worker, throw it out, and get another one? Because, you know, in a lot of capitalist countries, people will be like, yeah, sure. But the problem is with heavy physical work, and physical work in general. There is a population that can be turned over, meaning that you have 100 workers, and if you fire 50 in the next 3-4 months, you get like 10 new, 10 new, 10 new, and somehow if the salary and compensation is good enough, you will kind of build back um, your crew, let's say that. But for one, those crew often have to be re-educated and trained in, but also if the turnover, because the salary is not really good or the turnover is too big, then you need a year without workers, without sufficient workers, you know, to be. So you lose profit constantly because you can't take jobs, you can't go efficiently, you can't go fast. So what you need is because with certain things, it's not the profit that's the problem. You are making excellent profits, and it doesn't matter how many people you employ. So what you want is to for the profit to keep going. It's the point is to not stop. And for this, you need things like replaceability and redundancy, meaning that you are not going to wait until 2 of your most important workers have already left the company to train new ones, for example. So heavy physical labor, because physical labor is kind of questionable in this kind of area, because it has a very high overturn rates, they need high compensation, and yeah, but it's not the most comfortable kind of thing. Digging, sawn, dirt goes in your eye, for example, your boot is constantly can be fat, you are constantly dirty, and the sweat and dirt is eating your skin. You know, you understand. But for example, in a factory, none of those things are at the place. So you know, you can have a lower compensation and factory workers and better environment. You know, as long as the work is not too high. But remember what I said about momentum and heavy physical labor. Heavy physical labor will eat you away. Most people will never even try to do heavy physical labor because, let's be honest, it's kind of bad. It's very stressing on the body. You feel your life endangered and your life shortened by this kind of thing if you are not prepared for it. You'll be like, in a year I will be dead here. So this is why I wouldn't want to say it's kind of a profession. Maybe it is, maybe it is not. I just don't want to overuse a word, you know, or such. The thing is that you need to be prepared for this kind of things. You need to take care of yourself. With an industry that it has a very high turnover rate already, not much people want to be in. It's very important that you keep, you know, both your workers satisfied and on long term. Because if you lose a couple, it can be kind of hard to replace, and then the industry stops and there is no profit. Goodbye. So these kind of things, because you know, if for example, if I say, hey, you came into the physical labor because it earns more, but we have a modifier, you know, you have to work in a smelly place, or whatever, you know, it's going to be beside robotics and they are very warm. People don't know, but for example, the robot hands that you see packing boxes and are working really fast, usually kind of warm too, very hot actually. So if you work beside them, it's going to be hot all the time. Now if you have, for example, desperate people or so on, maybe you can solve it, because this is another modifier, but that's a modifier of the location. You know, if you have a modifier in the location, like you have floats every 2 weeks, that may be not good for your factory, just saying. But if for example you can get a kind of desperate people, this is the kind of modifier that, yeah, some people likes the warm place, maybe they are going to okay. But if there is any other kind of like work outside, summer and winters, you know, have to work physical labor in a thick jacket, you know, or on the direct sunlight. Things start to change. That's not going to be so good. Most of the people not gonna like that. So this kind of increases the compensation. And why do you need compensation, and why do we have standards? The reason for this is because currently I have done jobs like this before, and it's just not enough that you have the will or the resolve. It's nothing. It's important, but it will take you to the step 1, not step 3. And there is 10 steps. You know, it's kind of the, okay, you are here, but that's not enough. Because when you are straining your body, you are going to need certain things, for example, juices. That's my, I don't know why I love those things when I work these kind of things. Probably there's a reason for it. I don't know. But for one, when I'm working 12 hours, I usually barely eat during the 12 hour. Because if you are working a heavy physical job or a long time, or have to have momentum, you are going to get sick from food. In my experience, not everyone. I saw people who eat properly. I get oftentimes sick from it, or like I have a big stone in my stomach, and that's not really good. So you know, I have to have something that I eat before it and after it, because if you eat when you get home 3 hours before you are going to sleep, and it's going to be a lot, then you are going to digesting all night, and you are going to be very tired next day, which is very also not good. You need protective drinks. You need things that kind of restore you to the maximum. A coffee and Red Bull is kind of nothing. I'm going to be honest with you. Caffeine is a lie. Red Bull is a lie. It will work for 2 hours at best, and then you feel like even worse than you started. Caffeine is better in this regard. Caffeine is better because it's just, yeah, well, I'm not a sleepy, but it doesn't tell you lies. Alright? Energy drinks will tell you lies, and those lies will take their toll during that shift. So you need a better diet. It's not necessarily meat that you need. I don't really eat meat anymore. I do because I need certain vitamins, so on and so forth. But I used to then go on a diet to lose weight. Like guys, I used to be fat, you know, and I try to work out, drop a lot of it. And the thing is, everyone is telling me that, oh, well, you have given off so much, and you look so much better. And if I look at myself on a camera, like, you know, a video footage, that's true. There I don't have that hunchback kind of fat. My chin is not hanging, kind of, you know, the kind of things you notice on a second hand. And overall, I have things that I look better at. But I still have a lot of places. I still have a tummy, and why I'm much more muscular, and I can, you know, and I'm dancing very fast too. But you know, in my own mirror, I just don't feel like, yes, it's super good. I look at the mirror, push out my stomach to see how much I given off. I go on full, or not 4 wheels, 4 hands, 4 limbs down, you know, and like let my stomach hang to see how much I have on my chest, on my stomach. And I'm going to be honest, friends that I haven't met in a time are actually surprised how much weight I lost, and I understand that they are right, because I lost fat from places that I haven't noticed before. Like if you are at your back, at your sides, were a bit fattish, probably your friends noticed but you didn't, and so on and so forth. And But I just don't know, you know. I don't know how much I lost. In that regard, I lost a lot. My fate is not that unchanging. I'm trying to do what, because at that point I don't feel good about losing more weight, because I'm feeling it's messing with my muscle weight. So oftentimes I'm trying to do very hard workouts. I'm doing workouts for girls actually, because I feel like they are so much harder than guys. Because for girls, a lot of these workouts for girls are easy, and but for me, I don't move this kind of way, you know, and I want to sweat. I want to work muscles I haven't before, because the thing is, I can do. I know, for example, push-ups are really hard for me, but I know that when I'm working with weights, like muscle training, I do get adjusted to it, and it just don't make me sweat like, you know, you have run for so hard so much. So back to the original topic. In a moment, I changed to girls' workout routine, to fitness, to round bath, to whatever else, because they make me sweat really hard and do kind of things that my body was too rigid to do before, and I really enjoy it. It gives me a really nice workout. I'm tired after it. I'm sweaty after it. I recommend it very much. You know, it's labeled for girls, but you know, it's awesome. So don't let that kind of workout for boys and just you don't do those kind of things because whatever label is on it. Go for it. It's good for you. Back to the diet kind of things. I don't really eat much meat anymore, because I noticed during my diet that when I eat meat products, it tends to digest for a long time and stay with me for a couple of days, and I feel like that's not really good. I don't really enjoy it. And instead I used to buy this tin can meat, pork chops, as pork something. I want to advertise this, so wait a moment. So it's I think Dulano chopped pork is what is on the label. It's what we call armor tin can. It's a really thin tin can. And I was trying to find food sources kind of have the things that I want, because with sausages I felt like I'm getting protein. It's hard to describe these feelings, because for one, they kind of sound weird, but also it's kind of like a stomach kind of feeling. So with a lot of meat products, I felt that I have no need for them, but I still really need certain kind of things that I just don't get from meat. I get some, but very little, and I eat a lot of meat, and it's just making me fatter, and it's in me for a long time, and it's just messing with my diet, and I don't get enough of what I want. So I tried out many different meat products, and I actually found this chopped pork, which is pre-cooked meat products. When they are industrially removing meat from the bones, like cooking it off, or you know, so it's not you trying to scrap it off with a knife, in short, but cook it off, and then you know, they mix that up and just cook it and put it in a tin can, like making soup, in short. And I really like this kind of thing. It kind of has everything that I wanted. and it also has like this meat soup like kind of nice not fat, but whatever that is, kind of gelatin like, you know. And I ate a couple from time to time. No, ate one, but like overall ate a couple. Not overall, not all of them, but like in a month a couple. It's just a weird way. Sometimes I'm saying things weirdly. So let's see, every week or every couple of weeks I ate one of it, till I felt that I had enough of it, because I have been filled with it enough. Same with meat products. When I'm in a loss, I feel like I need some kind of meat products. For example, chicken breast I don't really eat much anymore at all. With pork some time to time, but even that not so much. And there is this feeling in your stomach like you are overfed or just filled up with something, like you don't need that thing anymore. Like you ate so much apple, you don't need more apple. Thank you. Whatever is in the apple, I don't need any more of it. Same with grapes. Well, grapes not so much. It just never feels like it's enough. But those kind of things. And with meat, I constantly had the problem that I don't need anymore. I'm on a strict diet. I'm constantly consuming, working out, and I need things that I can use. So I have been eating a lot of veggies, which actually clogged up my digestive system like there's no tomorrow. There have been times when I went to the toilet once in 3 days, and when I ate whatever was that I ate too much, I don't know, because I have been switching up, you know, kind of things, but not too much, just, you know, don't eat the same veggie every day, kind of have some mix in it. And I think I ate too much of some of the beans or something like that, but probably it was the carrots too. I ate too much of the I don't know what fiber it is, green fiber or plant fiber something. And I felt a need. For 2 days I couldn't go to the toilet, and for one whole day I felt like I had to go to the toilet but couldn't. And at the end of the day I finally could. With the diet I go to the toilet a lot less, and a lot better. I feel much lighter, I feel energetic, I feel, you know, I kind of feel alive, and that's kind of why we're doing. Now I know I went out of physical labor, I don't really want to talk about that anymore. I know I kind of lived it. The thing is about heavy physical labor is that you need to be extra prepared for that, extra prepared for that. It's going to eat you alive, it's going to grind down your muscles. People think you are going to get stronger. It's the opposite. If you're not looking out for yourself well enough, if you don't have an established balance, then the work is going to break down your muscles more and more, and in the end you end up with nothing, and you cannot continue working. So I work 12 hours. It has heavy physical parts, it has parts where you have to run around, and it has to do with machine operation, operating machine lines of all line, but only you know, the conveyor system only goes from production, like not pre-mixing materials, just only, you know, forming them, packing them up and sending to the packing station. The packing station, there are other people, so that's a bit different. So I'm just only handling one line, in short, and supposedly this will give me an average of not average, an above average salary for the month, and every overshoot, which is a lot of hours, will give me an extra every 3 months, so that's a big sum too, and I'm getting other things, in short, a lot of other things. And this extra compensation might help me do things, but the thing is that this might be too much for me. I'm a kind of guy who needs a lot of sleep. I'm very sleep based. If I cannot get my sleep, I'm breaking down. And I'm not kidding. A couple of days ago, I didn't get enough sleep because of the transition from night to day, and everything was like a broken image. And my memory can put things together, but I was walking around halfway asleep. Like the kind of thing when you're about to wake up and you don't really see out of your head, as they say. You don't know if you are there or not. That's who I was walking around at home. And at one point I just sat down, and it's like a huge cold storm or a cold rain or cold shower, like it hits you and you are like bound down the chair. And I remember that I didn't want to fall asleep in the chair because I was when you're very tired, you sleep like a sack of potato. This is important to know because you are going to fall off the chair if you fall asleep. When you're that sleep deprived and that tired, it's not a good idea to fall asleep in unusual places, because that's when you roll off the bed. So I managed to go to the bed, but I was I thought I'm going to make it to the door and like do other things. I didn't. I felt very weak. I had to sit down to the bed, and then the only thing I remember is shouting that someone make me a sandwich for the morning. It's actually happened. Someone did make me a sandwich for the morning. I don't live alone, so you know, if you are living alone, shout out someone make me a sandwich, and someone makes you a sandwich. You are either living with someone you don't know about, or you have a ghost. Either way, thank them. So, you know, physical work is kind of on a other kind of thing, and I feel like I don't say this enough. Companies have to support this. They have to support their workers. I know we have a lot of corporatism, a lot of bureaucracy, but if you don't support your workers, they can't do it. Alright? I can't fix a machine if I don't have a whatever screw, not screw holder, screw whatever tools to make that machine work. The same is true for people. They work, they need certain things for working, and it's not just, hey, eat some potato and it's gonna be alright. It's not going to be alright. It's not going to work. And after that, people fall out, the line is not working, production stopped, and everyone is just looking at each other. But why? When in 4 months maybe we get a new guy. We are not going to get a good guy, new guy, even if you fix everything now. I see this a lot of places in Europe. We are not very well when it comes to compensation. We are not very well when we are talking about workers' culture, and it's kind of disturbing because everything can stop tomorrow. Not fear mongering or anything. Did not mean tomorrow like that. But the thing is, if a worker falls sick and there is no replacement, then as long as that guy is asleep or sick, that is just going to fall out. This can be cement production, steel production. This can be your bread or whatever. Redundancy and so on and so forth is very important in this manner. And I'm seeing that maybe it's not the best as we are currently, but I don't want to take anything into this or any else. People are here to listen to a stream, not the rest. Just, you know, rambling about things. Now, I think I plenty run out of the time, so I'm going to talk about one more thing. Lords and Villains. It's an indie game I just tried out, and not tried out. I had it in a long time ago, and I given it a new. It's not bad or anything. It's not. It's a really good game, and I wanted to give it another try in another setting is the great word. I usually play it like I usually when I speak, humans speak. I usually play the game in a way that that's more of a kind of business. You know, it's a business kind of way. I want to kind of make my own land properties for money, where and rent them out, and kind of want my people to trade constantly, produce and trade and so on, and you know, the usual. But this time I wanted to make a playthrough that is more more like I don't know what it is called, what the system is called. The thing is that basically I'm taking in everything. Farmers don't really receive money, and you know, everything is free in a way, because not really, no, not at all. How should I say this? You have a blueprint for a house, and you tell the villager build one more room because you are going to have children. This creates a need. Now you're given a permission for the villager to build a house extension, right? So he's going to need food. Usually he would buy the wood. This time he doesn't have to. It's free. Alright? He can take it. This and the food and everything else, he can just take it. And he taxes literally everything down. So it's kind of I don't know how to call it, because it doesn't really it has a lot of parts that they don't really have a, and it's a very centralized system, I think. I mean, not even that, not really. Well, it has a central warehouse, so yes, it's centralized. But the thing is, it's a kind of how normal survival and strategy games are, like so on and so forth. So I was given a guide that said try this one, and honestly the start of the game is going really well, much better than usual, much more abundancy. I noticed that the growth is not going so well, to be honest. Things don't grow as well as when I thing is, I would have to micromanage a lot of things, and this is why I kind of go to business management usually, because in games, the moment you try to micromanage everything and set up systems, you have to micromanage a dozen different kind of things, and you forgot about one thing. For example, you are playing a skiffy game, and there is a planet, whatever else, that was I don't know, mining something, and you forgot to set up a transport ship. So no, you have not enough transport food or trade goods or whatever, just a minor thing. So that mining colony has now less miners than they would need it. So for example, you have less blue metal material that would needed for the production of hyperspace engines, and then you are just standing there. Why are my ships don't have hyperspace engines? And then you are go around like you are trying to find a bug, like why don't we have hyperspace engines for shipbuilding? And then you go and check, and why do we not have materials? Okay, why don't we have production? Okay, oh, we don't have enough miners. Why don't we have miners? Did something happen here? And everything seems to be alright, but because now you have to recount the mathematics of it. That did you deliver that 50,000 tons of whatever consumer products, or did you not? And you have two ships that just traveling, both of them have like 100,000 ton capacity, so technically they should be doing it, but maybe they are in a lag a little bit, you know, they are going slower than they should be. So now you have a bit of a transport lag for whatever reason. And so if you try to micromanage these things, this is one planet. And when you have 500 planets, it's going to be just a lot. I actually tried out Aurora 4 times, and that's where I started to feel this exact same thing. It's a lot to micromanage everything. So now in Lord and Villains, I actually tried this one out, and I already see this kind of problems that if there is no state, like maybe I'm going to make a different, maybe I'm going to make 95%, or wait, how it is? Yeah, maybe, or give them one land that they can work on freely. So something that kind of, because the thing is 90% of the material they make, plenty, 98-99% of the material they make, they don't actually need, but you know, it's needed for like massive expansion. Like I invited 2 more families and we need house buildings or storage areas or whatever. So for that, yeah, but the rest not so much. So but the base minimum is kind of something I want to turn, kind of circulate, go, and without my interference. So I want to set up a system for that. Anyway, maybe I show it someday. The last thing is I have things that I want to do. I have been streaming for 2 weeks now, and I don't really have time to work on this project or the monetary kind of things. I don't really have viewers. I don't mind it currently. I would have gone to Twitter, whatever, and yeah, the thing is currently I'm trying to make time and money to have things that I can start with. Anyway, and I want to put more money to the side. That's all. Be good. Thank you for coming. Have a nice day.